Hey, it's your boy A Book Carter, and this is Urban Grind TV. Here with a special guest about to blow y'all away. Get him in tune and tell him where you were.
My name is David Bruce from Product of Chicago.
Okay, David Bruce from Product of Chicago. Now, briefly, you know what I'm saying, or long-termly, let them know what brought you to Urban Grind.
Basically, I just discuss with you guys the direction of the brand, the history of the brand, why I started it, and just inform the people of what's next to come for the brand.
Pretty much. So, like, describe what the brand is. Like, you got, like, is it a music brand, clothing brand, production company? Like, what's the brand? What's the name of it?
So, Product of Chicago is a streetwear brand. It's headwear and apparel. We've been established now for 4 years. This is our 4th year in business, growing on a constant basis, and looking forward to the future and expanding of the brand, the expansion of the brand, definitely.
So like more like long term, like you in it for the long run, or like basically you say hat and apparel. So is this coming in all like adults, kids, diverse culture?
No, it's funny you asked that because today we just announced that we're gonna start the kids collection. So right now it's just adults apparel, but starting July, the 3rd quarter of the year, we will start the kids apparel, and then we're also expanding into different markets, into different product lines with the brand. So as of right now, it's just headwear and apparel, but we are looking to expand into other, avenues with the brand, because the brand speaks to one's love of where they're from. So being a product of Chicago, that's special to me. That means something to me. So
I hear you say Chicago. Like, what part of Chicago are you from?
West Side, born and raised.
Shout out 290. So like that's where you got the inspiration from, like growing up in the West Side of Chicago?
No, actually, the inspiration is it's a wild story. I used to travel a lot, and amongst my travels, I was talking to a gentleman, and we having a conversation, and he asked me where I was from, because he thought I was from the East Coast from the way I talk. So I'm like, nah, I'm from Chicago. And instantly the conversation kind of shifted and went negative. Like, yo, what's going on with Chicago? I used to love the city. He got to talking about the violence and all that. So the inspiration for the brand actually came from someone who I felt didn't understand, one, the city, and two, the people of the city. And so I'm proud to be a Chicagoan, and I want people to know that, and I want people from Chicago to be proud to be Chicagoans, or anywhere you from, and that's what the expansion of the brand is about. So that was the inspiration behind letting people know that, like, yo, it ain't everything that you see in the media, about Chicago. Chicago produces greatness. So that's what being a product of Chicago is and what it means.
That's pretty dope. So question, like for when you got to the part where they said, oh, you from Chicago, and they automatically thought negative, like didn't that hit you with a surge, like this is why you want your brand out, to try to make some kind of change because of how they have a negative proceedings of us already?
Yeah, definitely. That was the entire inspiration behind the starting of the brand. I've always been into fashion and into apparel and entertainment, but I never really did nothing that was strictly for the city. So that moment in time was 100% the inspiration behind why I called it Product of Chicago.
And we going all over product of wherever you from.
Yeah. Because everybody is a product of somewhere, and they proud of whatever city and town they from. So we have about 9 or 10 new markets that we're going to introduce, starting probably like holiday season going into 2021. Because other people, I know a lot of people from a lot of other places, and they always ask me like, yo, why don't you do a product of this or a product of that?
I want to feel involved.
Yeah. And so I'm a businessman, and I'm gonna give the people what they want.
Okay, that's what's up. Question, I heard you say like 4 years, right?
Yeah. So this is our 4th year. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, like in any kind of business, whether it's from the city, United States, being whether it's a year or 2 or 3, you ever had like some highs and some lows, some things that tested your will to see that you really want to keep going with this, or some things that made you feel like, hey, maybe this just not my thing? Like,
oh, definitely. That comes with the territory. No matter what industry you in, the first year was real slow for the business. I mean, because you're trying to establish, right? You know what I mean? And people don't know what it is, and people scared to ask you what it is and what it's about. What does it mean?
Scared to take a chance.
Yeah. So yeah, the first year was real slow. The second year, what I did was, in order to build the awareness of the brand and to get the recognition amongst the people, I did almost 50 pop-ups my second year. Like, so every time somebody contacted me about doing a pop-up, I did it, no matter what the fee was. Like, no matter if I sold a hat or sold a shirt or not, because my ideology is this: if I get it in front of the people, when they see it, they're gonna like it. You know what I mean? And so that was the ideology in year 2. Year 3, which was last year, I started doing festivals, you know what I mean? And what that did was that took me to a different demographic, you know what I mean? Because what I didn't want people to feel like, oh, it's just a black brand, or it's an urban brand, or it's, like, no, it's a brand that is for Chicago, for any Chicagoan, whether you north, south, east, west, black, white, Latino, whatever. It's a Chicago brand, you know what I mean? And it's, I want everybody to be able to show love for the city and show that they love the city. So that's why I started doing festivals last year. So that was year 3. And then, we've had some challenges this year due to, COVID-19 and things of that nature. But, and that's just how I look at it. It's just, it's just giving me an opportunity to honestly think more and, come up with different ideas and different ways. So it's a lot of things that you're gonna see that I do this summer that most brands wouldn't do. You know what I mean? But I'm an envelope pusher. You know what I mean? And I test boundaries. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be in a box like everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? So selling online is cool. Our online sales are great, but my brand was built on me touching the people, and so that's what you're gonna see this summer. What I'm gonna do, like, most people wouldn't do. You know what I mean? At the level that I'm at, they wouldn't dare do it, but
So right now at this level, you could see your brand up there with the Vera Waynes and the Yeezys and all that. You can already feel it now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and not even so much to that level, but I want to inspire somebody to, like, yo, take a chance. If you have an idea on something, take a chance. What's the worst that can happen? You fail, okay, get up and do something else. I never, when I first started this, I never thought in 4 years that the brand will be having the impact that it's having. Because that wasn't the goal. That wasn't a part of why I started it. I didn't start the brand for people to, a whole bunch of people to buy shirts and hats or whatever. I started the brand to show pride in, I'm from Chicago, and that means something to me. You know what I mean? It should mean something to you too. So yeah, but I think that the growth, is limitless. It's skyless, bro. Like, I don't put a cap on it, because I think what's to come is gonna amaze a lot of people. You know what I mean? And it's gonna inspire a lot of people, and it's gonna create opportunities for a lot of people. So yeah, I think we're on to something, and it's gonna be bigger than whatever my dream or my expectations ever was. You know what I mean? It's bigger than me.
You already drawing me in. I'm a believer of the brand already. I'm feeling the way you present it. Is this your stuff that you're gonna have?
So this is another one of our collections to go. So we have 3 collections in the brand. So you have Product of Chicago, you have the Go, and then we're introducing a new collection called Native, that incorporates the flag. So yeah, I mean, like, I love where I'm from. So this is one of the collections though.
Hey, we're gonna have to. You have to give me one of them hats when you get back here. Deal?
Indeed, I got you.
All right, let everybody know where they can find you.
Productofchicago.com, where you can purchase merchandise. Instagram is Product of Chicago. Facebook, Product of Chicago. Personal page is by David Bruce on Instagram.
It's your boy A-Book Carter, man. Urban Grind TV. We'll be back to you.
Yo, this is the boy David Bruce from Product of Chicago. You're watching Urban Grind TV.